How one lost letter from my grandmother taught me more about love than any relationship ever did. I didn't expect a single piece of paper, yellowed, wrinkled, and hidden inside an old book, to break me open the way it did, and I definitely didn't expect it to reveal a truth about love I had somehow missed in every relationship I've ever had. But that letter changed everything. Growing up in Vermont, my grandmother was the kind of woman everyone in town admired. She baked pies for neighbors, sent handwritten birthday cards to distant relatives, and somehow remembered every detail about every person she met. She'd say things like, "Love isn't big speeches, it's follow through." I never really understood what she meant. She passed away 5 years ago, just before my life started really falling apart. Back then, I was bouncing from one relationship to the next. Dating apps, short-lived situationships, people who loved the idea of me more than the reality of me, and honestly, I did the same to them. I wanted passion, excitement, fireworks, but I didn't want patience, compromise, or consistency. When my grandmother died, I helped my dad clean out her house. We boxed up her quilts, her photos, her endless supply of greeting cards. We kept the important stuff and donated the rest. Or so I thought. Fast forward to this summer. I was going through a hard breakup. One of those slow, draining ones where you both know it's over, but you're too tired to actually end it. One night, I couldn't sleep, so I went looking for something comforting to read. I dug through an old box I had barely touched in years and found one of my grandmother's hardcover books. It was a worn-out copy of Little Women, the one she used to read to me when I was a kid. When I opened it, something thin fluttered out and fell to the floor. A letter, addressed to me, the date on the envelope. 3 months before she passed away. My hands were shaking as I opened it. Inside was my grandmother's familiar handwriting, loopy, steady, and warm. She wrote, "If you're reading this, then the world has pulled you into one of its storms again. I can't stop that from happening, but I can remind you of something you always forget. Love is not found in grand gestures. It's found in the tiny choices we make every day." She wrote about my tendency to chase intensity instead of stability. She wrote about how she watched me get bored the moment a relationship stopped feeling exciting. She wrote about how I mistook drama for connection, and then there was a line that absolutely destroyed me. "The right person will not make you feel like you're auditioning. They will make you feel like you're home." She must have seen something in me, something I didn't even see myself, but the part that hit me the hardest? She said she hid the letter in that exact book because she knew I'd eventually come back to it only when I truly needed to. She predicted this moment. She predicted me. I sat on the floor for nearly an hour, holding that letter, realizing how much of my life I had wasted trying to force love to look like a movie instead of what it really is. Quiet, steady affection built through simple choices. My grandmother wasn't married to my grandfather for 52 years because their love was some dramatic whirlwind. They stayed together because they showed up for each other in small, everyday ways. She even wrote, "Most people don't fall out of love, they fall out of patience." And suddenly, every failed relationship I'd had made sense. I was chasing sparks, but ignoring the foundation. I read that letter at least 20 times before I finally folded it back up and placed it in the book again. Not to hide it, just so I could always find it where she intended it to be. Since then, everything about the way I approach relationships has changed. I'm slower, more intentional, more aware of what actually matters, and I swear, that single lost letter taught me more about love than any partner I've ever had. If you take anything from this story, let it be this: love isn't about who makes your heart race, it's about who makes it rest.